$22.08. So, yeah, okay, well, maybe you're coaching the younger teams there. Yeah, maybe the junior high teams, maybe the elementary teams there. Number of teens employed in that is 60,000. A retail supervisor. Yeah, maybe you've been in retail for a little bit. You've worked your way up to a supervisor role there. Hourly wage, median hourly wage, $22.75. About 37,000 teens employed in that role. Babysitter. Okay, so many doing that. Yeah, my wife did that. We know a ton of people that have done that. Median hourly wage, $23.08. Holy cow. If you're thinking about getting a babysitter for the kids, save up a little bit. $23.08 median hourly wage. Number of teens employed not available on that, probably because they don't have to fill out any kind of formal paperwork for that. And the top one here, coming in at a median hourly wage of $23.88 at the top of our list here, with a old-fashioned Casey Kasem countdown here. My son, if he's thinking about working on a car, becoming a car technician and mechanic, median hourly wage, again, $23.88. Number of teens employed, 44,000 in that one. So on that one, it's basically you'll need a natural ability or skill in mechanics as well as a basic knowledge of vehicles, according to Nathan Soto, a career expert at Resume Genius. But teens who have the right skills can make some good money. So yeah, maybe just going in there and tinkering around. Maybe a kid shows interest. Want to get in there, tinker around with the car a little bit to kind of learn how to do it. Again, there's so much information out there with YouTube, learning how to do things. There's so many people showing you how to do stuff on YouTube. Any home repair or car repair that I attempt, I will absolutely tell you I start on YouTube first. So, son, get out there, tinker with the car. And if you want to go into that, man, the trades, they need workers, and $23.88, top on our list there for top paying jobs for teens there. So if they're getting out there looking for that summer job or thinking of like, how am I going to start building up my resume here? That is some ideas for you and for the teens there. All right, it is now 10 minutes to the top of the hour, 7:50 a.m. Taking a quick break here. When we come back, we'll have our KAHI News right after this.
Hey there, KAHI listeners. Producer Adam here to remind you that Chris in the Morning really is the best way to start your day. And he's not paying me to say this at all. Wink. And yes, he really is holding it down in beautiful Studio A in the KAHI Worldwide Headquarters Studios, Monday through Fridays, 6 to 9 a.m. Chris in the Morning here on FM 104.5, AM 950, and streaming all over the world at KAHI.com. Now, where is that $3 gift card he said he'd leave me for saying nice things about him? Man, that guy's a cheapskate.
And here's your KAHI News for Wednesday, June 3rd. I'm Chris Quant. CHP seeks help to find identified suspect in Placer County fatal hit and run. This is from the Sacramento Bee. The California Highway Patrol on Tuesday asked the public to help find a Stockton man believed to have been driving a big rig in a hit and run crash last week that killed another driver on Interstate 80 in Placer County. Investigators identified Robert Bell, 60, as the big rig driver who left the crash scene and hasn't been seen since, the CHP Auburn area office announced in a news release. CHP officials said the commercial hauling company involved, quote, has cooperated fully with investigators and continues to assist with the ongoing investigation, unquote. Michael Fiskus, 57, of Colfax, was driving a pickup involved in last week's hit and run crash. Fiskus died from injuries he suffered in the crash. The fatal crash was reported about 11:15 p.m. May 26th on I-80, just east of Placer Hills Road and the small community of Clipper Gap. Quote, this crash resulted in the tragic loss of life and our investigators remain committed to locating the individual responsible, unquote, Captain Andy Beasley, the CHP Auburn area office commander, said in the news release. Quote, we are asking anyone with information about the suspect's whereabouts to contact us. Even the smallest detail may help bring this case to a resolution and provide answers to the victim's loved ones, unquote. Investigators ask anyone with information about Bell's whereabouts or with additional information about the fatal hit and run crash to call the CHP at 530-401-9910. El Dorado County Sheriff's Office searches for teen last seen in the Placerville area. This is from the Sacramento Bee. Detectives are searching for a missing 15-year-old from El Dorado County, according to the El Dorado County Sheriff's Office on Monday. The girl, Kimberly Hand, was last seen around 11:45 p.m. on May 26th near Pleasant Valley Road in Placerville. The Sheriff's Office believes that she could be in the greater Sacramento area, including Fair Oaks, North Highlands, Rio Linda, West Sacramento, and South Sacramento. Hand is described as 5 feet 2 inches, having green eyes, brown hair, and weighing between 125 and 130 pounds. She wears braces and was last seen in a gray hooded sweatshirt and white and black pajama pants. Anyone with information about her whereabouts is asked to call 530-642-4720 or 530-621-6600. Back with more news after this.
Are you looking for a power factor? Well, how about the power of caring? Find out how it can change your life on Pop Talk this week. Hi, Mary Jane Pop here. Music in our brain. Do they communicate? Let's find out. And there's a producer of film and stage who says, don't hold it against him. Wonder why. And finally, some real-life stories that will blow you away. It's Pop Talk, Saturday, 5 to 7 a.m., Sunday, 9 to 11 p.m., and now, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m., with some great shows to inform and entertain on KAHI and FM 104.5.
Catch Sinatra and Friends, Saturdays and Sundays, right here on 104.5 FM and AM 950 KAHI. Join Frank and his friends, Sammy, Dean, Tony Bennett, and more, performing songs from the Great American Songbook. Sinatra and Friends Weekends, brought to you by Naturewood Home Furnishings on Folsom Boulevard in Rancho Cordova. Right here on the Voice of the Foothills, 104.5 FM, AM 950, and streaming all over the world at KAHI.com.
Tune in to the KAHI Corral every Saturday at 7 a.m. here on the Voice of the Foothills.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Every centimeter of toe growth past what it should be, it's 110 pounds on the navicular bone of extra weight.
God, it makes my legs ache right now.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. That's scary. Because the navicular, you're done.
Yeah, the navicular bone is very important.
Yeah, you're not riding or doing much else.
Listen in to Connie and the Gang, and you'll never know what you're gonna find. Everything from pets in the studio, oh yeah, that's a real thing, to the advice you've come to count on. So join Connie and a cast of thousands on the KAHI Corral Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. here on 104.5 FM, AM 950, and streaming all over the world at KAHI.com. Continuing now with your KAHI News from the Morning Brew, Trump signed a scaled-back executive order on AI. After weeks of, quote, will he or won't he, unquote, President Trump quietly issued an executive order yesterday that calls for some oversight of the AI industry amid concerns over cybersecurity threats, Politico reported. Originally, Trump planned to sign an order directing the government to review new AI models 90 days before they're released to the public, but he reportedly changed his mind at the last minute, concerned that the order would give China a competitive advantage and demand too much regulation after he made deregulation a policy priority. The order Trump signed yesterday reduces the voluntary government review to 30 days before public release, but is otherwise largely the same as the version he nixed last month. And from the Morning Brew, here's what else is brewing. Scott Pelley, a 60 Minutes correspondent who's worked at CBS News for nearly 40 years, was fired yesterday after he said the network's new editor-in-chief, Barry Weiss, was, quote, murdering, unquote, the show during a staff meeting. Talks between the U.S. and Iran are ongoing, President Trump and Secretary of State Marco Rubio said yesterday, though Iran state media reported that the two countries stopped exchanging messages days ago. Anthropic expanded access to its powerful Mythos AI model to 150 more organizations in 15-plus countries after initially reserving it for just a select few tech giants. Victoria's Secret beat earnings estimates and raised its outlook thanks largely to bra sales, the company said yesterday. George Santos, the former congressman who was jailed for fraud before having his sentence commuted by President Trump, is now being investigated for insider trading on Kalshi, NPR reported. And New York police are investigating a series of bizarre cases of people, not humanoid turtles, caught on video emerging from the sewer system. And finally, also from the Morning Brew, today's word of the day is tangentially, meaning in a way that is only slightly or indirectly related to something. Tangentially. And that's your KAHI News for this Wednesday, June 3rd. I'm Chris Quant. Back with more after this.
What keeps you up at night? Is it the mysteries of the universe, the secrets of history, or maybe the stories no one else dares to tell? I'm Frank Morano, and I invite you to discover The Other Side of Midnight, where curiosity never sleeps. From the fascinating to the forbidden, we tackle it all. Catch the conversation weeknights from 2 to 6 a.m. right here on the Voice of the Foothills, FM 104.5 and AM 950. KAHI, the night is alive. Join us.
Spring is in the air, and for a lot of us, so are the allergies. If you're tired of reaching for harsh medications, Sunrise Natural Foods has a better way to breathe easier. Naturally, at Sunrise Natural Foods, you'll find a wide selection of natural allergy support, from herbal blends and plant-based tablets to gentle homeopathic remedies designed to relieve sneezing, congestion, itchy eyes, and more, without the unwanted side effects. Visit Sunrise Natural Foods today in Auburn and Roseville, or online at sunrisenaturalfoods.net.
Advertise with KAHI Radio, the voice of the foothills, and you'll reach those who matter most. Your local customers for your local business. Here's Fred Penny of Penny & Associates to tell you why he uses KAHI Radio.
This is Fred Penny of Penny & Associate Injury Lawyers, and I choose to advertise on AM 950 KAHI Radio because it works.
So call our KAHI sales team at 530-885-5636. That's 530-885-5636 to start your local advertising today.
FM 104.5 K283CM Auburn and AM 950 KAHI Auburn.
Wake up, it's Chris in the morning light. On KAHI your day starts right. Foothill news and a smile or two, with a dad joke fresh and the weather too.
Oh, here we go. That escalated quickly. You're not awake, you're awake now.
It's Chris in the morning with your daily news.
Yeah, and good Wednesday morning to you. It is June 3rd, and it is right smack dab at the top of the hour. It is 8 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI. Come on, you know what it is. It is the voice of the foothills. Chris Quant with you here, holding it down in beautiful, gorgeous, fantastic, and very, very spacious Studio A, KAHI Studios, downtown Auburn, peering through the Venetian blinds at somebody who's determined to have a good Wednesday. Gotta go to the dentist right after this. Not super looking forward to that, but I am looking forward to maybe not having some pain in this tooth. Trying to get this this cavity that we got filled a couple weeks back. Got to get it dialed in. I think there's something, I don't know, something's going on. But that's why there's the dentist. That's why they're the professionals. That's why they do what they do, so that apparently my teeth won't hurt anymore. And grateful. If you're looking for something to be grateful for today, be grateful for dentists doing the Lord's work over there, making sure that our teeth are okay. As we're getting started on this day today, if today is your birthday, you know we love to do this at the top of the hour. A happy stinking birthday to you. I hope you have a fantastic day today. If you were born today, you share a birthday with one. I'm just going to say it. Sounds like a badass of a lady. Josephine Baker, French actress, singer, dancer, French resistance operative, born on this day in 1906. Quite the CV there. Paulette Goddard, American actress and model, 1910. Tony Curtis. Yes, that Tony Curtis, American actor, 1925. Allen Ginsberg, American poet, 1926. Chuck Barris, American game show host and producer. Adam, did you find who he is? Is it The Love Connection? Can you look that up? I know we've been talking about that last hour, too. Penelope Wilton, what a great name. Penelope Wilton, English actress, 1946. John Dykstra, American special effects artist, 1947. Dan Hill, Canadian singer and songwriter, 1954. And Anderson Cooper, American journalist, 1967. So happy birthday to them, and happy birthday again to you if today is your birthday. Hope you have a fantastic day today. Some things that happened on this day in history. The Duke of Windsor married Wallis Simpson. That was in 1937. Going back a little bit further than that, in 1784, the U.S. Army was born. The Continental Congress officially established the United States Army to replace the disbanded Continental Army. The first baseball uniforms were worn today in 1851. Baseball went all the way back there. 1851, the New York Knickerbockers Baseball Club become the first team to take the field wearing official uniforms, blue trousers, white shirts, and straw hats there. Ken, thank you. On the text line, Ken, thank you. Chuck Barris, The Gong Show. All right, thank you. Thanks for looking that up. Real-time information being verified right now. Ken, thanks for sending that in there. Appreciate that. Where was I? New York Knickerbockers. First uniforms there, blue trousers, white shirts, and straw hats. Nothing like a good old straw hat there. Let's see, 1946. Yeah, I got here early, and all of my growing up, my vast extension, listening to the oldies station for as far back as I can remember. What was it on the AM dial? Cruising 1470. I remember listening to that as a kid. This song, it came up frequently.
2, 3, 4, tell the people what she wore.
It was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she
I remember as a kid thinking, like, what is this song? What is this? Well, maybe it was all for this, to be the background for this fun fact for you. In 1946, the bikini debut, the modern bikini bathing suit, made its public scandalous world premiere at a fashion show in Paris. Well, there you go. In 1965, America's first spacewalk during the Gemini 4 mission, astronaut Ed White stepped out of a spacecraft, becoming the first American to float freely in open space for 23 minutes. Boy, that is a leap of faith. Now, I realize that he was tethered in, but you got to think, if anything goes wrong, these guys are just, they were made of something else. That's probably why they made the movie The Right Stuff about these guys, because there's just something different about these guys. And in 2016, a global boxing icon and civil rights activist Muhammad Ali passed away at the age of 74 on this day. So there we go. There's some things that are happening on this day. It's also World Bicycle Day, so if you're thinking about getting out there on a bike, get out there on a bike. It's National Repeat Day, a day to celebrate doing things twice. It is also National Repeat Day, a day to celebrate doing things twice. What's that, Adam? It didn't work the other 2 hours? It was worth a shot the third time. Maybe it was the third time a charm. And it's also National Play Catch Week. Get out there and grab a ball or a football, baseball, frisbee. Go out there and play some catch. Just put down all the devices is basically, I think, what it's saying. Get out there, go do something physical activity, enjoy the sun out there. Enjoy the nice weather before it gets too terribly hot. Yeah, go out and throw a ball around. Just something simple. All right, it is 6 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:06 a.m. We need to check in with meteorologist Tim Root and see what our weather is looking like for this Wednesday. Timmy, how are we looking out there today?
Wednesday weather forecast is calling for mostly sunny skies today. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. A southwest wind about 10-12 miles per hour. Mostly clear overnight, around 60 with light winds. Hot weather, sunny weather for Thursday and Friday. It'll be up around 91, 92 degrees each afternoon, and more the same for Saturday. This is meteorologist Tim Root from FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
Thank you, Tim. 6 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:06 a.m. Speaking of weather, is there a chance we could have a super El Nino? Not just an El Nino, a super El Nino. What qualifies to make it a super El Nino? Do we need a refresher on what the El Nino does, what it's all about, how it affects the weather? We'll talk about that here in the Morning Brew. Kind of interesting. We'll see. Stay tuned. Back with more right after this.
because KAHI cares. Here's another KAHI Community Bulletin Board.
You don't have to go to Africa to have a wildlife adventure. The Wildlife Care Association offers adventure, challenge, and satisfaction when you volunteer to care for injured birds and small animals. The nonprofit group is offering classes now for volunteers to assist Mother Nature in returning wildlife to our communities. Visit wildlifecareassociation.com or call 916-965-WILD and get your adventure going.
Hi, this is Dr. Dahlia. Join me for my live call-in medical talk show that answers your questions right here on KAHI. On my show, we tackle issues like cholesterol, diabetes, women's health, children, geriatrics, relationships, and more. And with all that's going on in Washington, we even touch on government and policies.
Dr. Dahlia, weekdays from 9 to noon here on the Voice of the Foothills.
Join me each weekday morning right here on FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI, the voice of the foothills.
8 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:08 a.m. And hey, good morning to you, Forest Hill. Currently, the temperature is, 67 degrees right now, looking for a high today of 81 degrees. And speaking of temperature, is it getting hot in here? Temperature rising. What the heck is going on? Taking a look at the morning brew this morning. El Nino, a naturally occurring weather pattern, now has an 80% chance of developing by the end of August. According to the UN's World Meteorological Organization, the phenomenon could have wide-ranging effects on the global economy, hitting everything from trade to agriculture to energy there. So what is... Just going back to school here, is where did we learn about El Nino? Did we learn about that in geography class? I don't know what that has to do with locations. But anyway, El Nino, science class. There we go. That would probably be that one. El Nino, basically, it's a 2 to 7 years. Every 2 to 7 years, the trade winds that normally blow from east to west weaken or reverse course over the Pacific Ocean, pushing warm waters, usually headed towards Asia, back to the Americas. Okay, well, it's a Uno reverse is what it sounds like is happening here. Pushing those waters back. No one is totally sure why this happens. Isn't that interesting, where there's stuff, as long as humanity has been around and with all of the technology that we have, there's still things that happen in nature where, like, I don't know. I have no idea why that's a thing, but it's happening. No one really is sure how it happens, but just that when it does, it stirs up a whole bunch of weather and storm drama around the globe. El Nino effects are varied across different regions. It usually increases the temperature and dries out areas like Australia and Southeast Asia, making them more susceptible to wildfires and droughts. Man, you remember it was a couple of years ago, those wildfires that were burning across Australia? Good Lord, have mercy. They were massive. Let's see. Meanwhile, the southern U.S. and Central America become more at risk for flooding, and it can also disrupt normal weather patterns and make hurricanes and monsoons more extreme or unpredictable. Now, just take this with an El Nino. Now put a super in front of that. The odds of a super El Nino, which occurs when the water in a specific area of the Pacific rises above 2 degrees Celsius, have also jumped from 25% to 37%. According to the National Weather Service, a normal El Nino is classified by only a half a degree Celsius temperature increase. So a super would be we're up 2 degrees Celsius. Good gracious. Some data suggests that a deep wave of abnormally warm water could push Pacific Ocean temps higher than they've been in a decade, resulting in a record-setting year for global temperatures in 2027. Oh no, I'm not ready for that heat. Big picture, scientists have warned that this El Nino could be supercharged by the warming climate, exacerbating already strained supply chains for everything from fertilizer to fuel. One study from Dartmouth estimated that the 5-year fallout from the 1997 to 1998 El Nino, I do kind of remember that, there was $5.7 trillion drop in global GDP. So, all right, well, here's hoping. Here's the thing. I read this because, not that I'm trying to bring doom and gloom on us. It's good to be aware. It's good to know. It's good to see how the environment is going, and do we need to be prepared, and how can we prepare for that? But also sometimes when predicting the weather, oftentimes, let's look at this glass half full. Sometimes it actually doesn't materialize the way that sometimes they say it will materialize. So hopefully Hopefully the super will not be front of the El Nino, although El Nino is a thing that happens, and we've dealt with it before, and I know we can deal with it again. 12 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:12 a.m. I'm going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll have our Fox Business Report. We'll take a look at traffic outside, see how things are shaping up out there on this Wednesday. Back with more right after this.
Where does your generosity to mercy ships go? To a small village in Sierra Leone, to the eyes of a mother, to an operating room, the healing, the anxious wait, until finally, a beautiful smile. To a port in Madagascar, into the hands of a surgeon, to the eyes of the MRI technician, the scalpel, the monitor, the post-op, and finally, a mirror, a tumor removed, replaced by tears of joy. To a small fishing village in Africa, to the hopes of a boy, to his dreams of playing soccer, to the hands of a surgeon, the long recovery, until one day, the joy of finally being part of the team. Where does your generosity go? Wherever mercy does.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks open mostly lower, though investors are looking at a better-than-expected reading on the job market, some upbeat earnings, but also higher crude oil prices as traders monitor developments in the Iran conflict. Payroll processing company ADP says there were 122,000 new jobs created by private employers in May. Chipmaker Marvell Technology shares up another 9.5% after NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang said this week Marvell's stock market value could reach $1 trillion. Palo Alto Network shares down 5%, even though the cybersecurity company reported an upbeat quarter. Macy's earnings topped expectations. The iconic retailer is seeing signs that its turnaround plan is working. Macy's shares are up 1%. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
When I started skiing, I didn't think about setting any records. When I won my first race, I didn't think about how many more I might win. So when I made it to the top of the world, it never crossed my mind to stop. Being the best isn't the same as being your best. There are no shortcuts to the top, so find the people who help get you there. I'm Michaela Schifrin, and that's what Team Stiefel means to me. If you're an advisor or an investor, choose Stiefel, where success meets success.
Stiefel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Past performance is no indication of future
Real
results.
life
Investing
stories
involves
are always
risk.
best. And have I got some doozies on Pop Talk this week? I'm Mary Jane Pop here. Music in our brain. Do they communicate? And is there a power of caring? It might really surprise you and change your life. Finally, a producer of film and stage who says, don't hold it against him. I'm curious what that is. Curiosity is our search for truth on Pop Talk. Saturday, 5 to 7 a.m., Sunday, 9 to 11 p.m., and now, Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. Let's search together.
15 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:15 a.m. Let's take a look outside at our roadways right now. If you're heading out there, maybe you're heading down from Auburn. If you're going all the way to Sacramento, actually right now, if I'm looking at this right, not looking too bad actually for a Wednesday. Maybe it's because it's summer. Maybe the kids are off on summer vacation now, and we're going to have a little bit of lighter roadways here. If you're heading on 65, you're slowing southbound around Pleasant Grove if you're heading to 80 from Lincoln there. But otherwise, going down on the Cap City Freeway there, we've got a disabled vehicle on the shoulder there. That's 80 eastbound at Winter Street there, so just a heads up. If you're going 80 over to I-5, not too bad there. I-5 northbound, looking good. If you're heading out to the airport, not too shabby. So we will take what we can get today. If you're heading up the mountains, up into 80, up towards... It looks like we got to slow down around Donner Pass there if you're going eastbound up towards Truckee there. So just a heads up there if you're going up that way. On the 50 side, if you're coming down from Placerville down to Sacramento, again, not too bad. Maybe we've got a little bit of slowdown as you're getting near downtown there, but not too shabby. If you're going up 50 towards South Lake, no major slowdowns as well. And if you're going across 49 across the canyon, you're looking pretty good as well. So that is traffic for you. Hey, before we go there, got a quick reminder here, and I want to get this out there because we want to make sure that you are knowing that KAHI, we were talking about the 4th of July a little bit earlier. Auburn's pulling out all the stops. It's going to be the Auburn Family Fun 4th of July. And I wanted to put this out here. Thank you for the reminder, Ken, that we're going to be covering KAHI. Yes, we, KAHI, are going to be covering the 4th of July parade. We're going to be broadcasting it here on our AM and FM channels here, 104.5 and 950. And we're going to be, I think we're going to be streaming. Oh, we're going to be streaming the video on our KAHI, KAHI.com as well. So not only broadcasting it over the airwaves, but also streaming on our KAHI website, KAHI.com as well. Our hosts, Mary Jane Pop, of course, the lovely Mary Jane Pop will be hosting that along with Rain Knoll. They're going to be out there broadcasting, and the event will be rebroadcasted on Auburn Community Television there. So love it. We're getting out there, and we're going to be partnering with the folks there to broadcast the 4th of July parade. So maybe you're not able to make it down. Maybe you're not able to see it. We'll tune in here on KAHI on the 4th of July for the parade. Also, you can go to our website, KAHI.com, and we're going to be streaming it there as well. So if you can't be there, well, you can at least feel like you're there and taking part of the festivities there. So just a heads up, it's a little ways away, but want to make sure that you're aware of that as we're getting closer and closer to the 4th of July. Quick break. Back with more right after this.
Catch Sinatra and Friends Saturdays and Sundays right here on 104.5 FM and AM 950 KAHI. Join Frank and his friends, Sammy, Dean, Tony Bennett, and more, performing songs from the Great American Songbook. Sinatra and Friends Weekends, brought to you by Naturewood Home Furnishings on Folsom Boulevard in Rancho Cordova. Right here on the Voice of the Foothills, 104.5 FM, AM 950, and streaming all over the world at KAHI.com.
18 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:18 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, Sports Ball at the bottom of the hour. Well, Giants are halfway through a 4-game series with the Milwaukee Brewers. Woof. All right, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the scores. A's also played yesterday. Slightly better news there. I'll let you know when the Giants are taking on the Brewers again today. Hopefully we can get a W here. Back with Sports Ball right after this.
Just like the prodigal son, I return. I came to get down. So get out your seat and jump around.
Yeah, that's what's known as a cheap radio trick. So our favorite bombardier was supposed to be on, is usually visiting with us on Tuesdays before he hits the air. But he had to move to Tedsday, so in an effort to, get him in and walk up appropriately, cheap radio trick. He is Tom Garrett, host of the Tom Drops Bombs video series on YouTube. Also does some legislating on the side there. Good morning, Tom. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty well, Joe. How are you?
You're not sounding like a guy that's dropping bombs. It's like, NPR here.
What do you want? What, should we take it to 11? Should we go all in, like the Spinal Tap 11?
I know what was in Louise Lucas's office, and I'm not telling, but if you... No, I don't know what you got. But...
you're tempting me. You're tempting me.
Oh, it's all good, So, quick question, because everyone's fixating on these primaries, Tom Steyer blessedly, fall into the same ignominy of green.
You know what I want to do sometime, and this is why we have the reputation that we have, because I just go right off the reservation. What I want to do sometime for your listeners and you is break down. Everybody hears about like Reggie, the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative, exactly the scam that is. It is so disgusting.
Right.
They are literally capitalizing a marketplace using additional tax on your power bill, creating a commodity that's not a commodity. And then if you're Tom Steyer or Bill Gates or George Soros, you invest in this newly created commodity that is literally capitalized with the sweat of the brow of the working man and woman in the Commonwealth. It's cap and trade. It is, oh my gosh, it's horrible, and nobody understands what it is.
Well,
so anyway,
but that's
off the red far enough yet.
That's it. The first bombs are away this morning. And Reggie, it's funny because Appalachian Power, along with Dominion, have both quietly asked the state corporation overseers of the electric utilities, can we have a rate increase first because it's costing us more to generate electricity, and we now need to pay pay into Reggie. So they have 2 rate increases, both on the docket.
They got to pay into Reggie so that Tom Steyer can tell us how much he cares more than we do, while literally making money off of a tax increase handed to us to justify dubious claims, right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, Bernie Sanders stood on a debate stage in 2020. Now, I just want your listeners to do the math, and said if he wasn't elected to address the climate crisis, the world would end in 6 years. I mean, it feels a lot like 2026 to me.
Do the math.
This is literally like an REM song, right? It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think more people voted for Kamala Harris than bought that REM record. So California governor's race, Hilton is actually leading, but if you do the math, and Chad Bianco's got about 11.5%, and Steve Hilton's got about 28%, that still don't make 50%. How does somebody get across the finish line there? Because I don't see Tom Steyer's voters or the communist girl voting for Steve Hilton. I just don't see it, and that's why Becerra, I think, had to be the winner, because if it was Hilton versus Steyer, I bet you some of Becerra's supporters vote for Hilton, but I can't see Tom Steyer's voters unless they stay home. Is that the hope in California, Tom?
Tom Steyer's voters, as dumb as they are, might vote for Paris Hilton. So, you never know what you don't know, right? Tragically, it seems that in the United States these days, so many elections aren't decided until right before the election. Some tangential issue rears its head, something we hadn't even contemplated to that point, and everybody goes, well, it's Trump's fault or whatever.
That seems to be the answer.
So those are tea leaves I can't read, Joe. That's my best non-answer right there.
Okay, that's fine, but I know you've been to some of the hellholes of the planet in the documentaries you've shot, Exile. Compare L.A. to some of the worst cities you've had to go see, and the degradation of the human spirit in some of these places. If you wouldn't mind.
The easiest comparison is that in L.A. it's been by choice, right? I mean, in Khartoum, you got a bunch of people who are doing the best they can to find a better opportunity for themselves and their posterity, and frankly, to get the heck out. And in LA, it's we are going to prove that we care more by creating an avenue for perpetual underclass that we can then see frequently, so that we can reinforce our own false sense of superiority. Right? The difference between LA and third world hellholes is LA had a choice, and that's sad.
Yeah,
and they do again.
And hopefully they make it again. Jane wrote in earlier. She said, what difference at this point does it make? I think she was quoted because she's like, all right, so let's say Spencer Pratt wins the mayor's race and some of it gets cleaned up like Giuliani did in New York. There's just going to be a Michael Bloomberg or worse, a Zoran Mamdani coming along later to say, let's undo all of that and make it worse.
Sure, but I mean, ultimately, we need a perspective as people in government and people in media, and that perspective is we can only do what we can do. And then you circle back to Romans 3:23, all of sin and come short of the glory of God. We're failures, right? And so we do the best we can do because that's our charge. We recognize that certain things we can't do, but there are also certain things we shouldn't do. So we should tell the truth. We can lie, but we shouldn't. There's your political paradigm, and we acknowledge that there will never be perfection in this lifetime while perpetually working towards perfection, right? It seems to make no sense, but it makes sense so long as you have the perspective of here's what we're able to do and here's what we're not, right? And so the most dangerous thing in government is anyone who tells you that a utopia is possible, and if you'll only do what they say, they'll take you there. It's not possible.
Right.
What we need to do is create the most open and even set of opportunities in the world, but understand that any society where you're free to succeed also implicitly means you're free to fail.
So let me ask you this. Mac asked me to explain, and I know I have a column up at dailysignal.com about it, but he was talking about the rectory at Virginia Tech, our land-grant university, that is now a mess because the governor is playing politics with it, much as they accused the previous governor of playing politics with these rector positions in these boards that oversee the university. Why, for somebody who's just like, why is this a big deal to the political class to do this? Why is it so important for these people to mess around in university education? Is it just DEI? Is it just to check a box? What's their reasoning? What's the political upside to it?
Well, I think it's because UVA has tampon machines in the men's room and Tech doesn't. And so, and I'll pause because your audience is now trying to figure out whether or not I'm serious.
Go look at his video. Go to Tom Drops Bombs on YouTube, or what's your Instagram feed, by the way, Tom?
I don't know. Delegate Tom Garrett on Facebook and Tom Garrett JR on TikTok. But
all right, but I mean, go there and look. He actually takes you on a tour of the University of Virginia's men's bathroom, where I'm not sure what you're supposed to use them for, but if you call it an entrance, that's part of your problem.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
This is an urgent announcement for anyone that's $10,000 or more in debt. Before you make another minimum payment, you need to know there are special programs that can completely free you of your debt. Total Financial Freedom can help you become debt-free in months instead of years. Resolve your credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and timeshares. Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-878-6020 for a free consultation. For 16 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands get out of debt. You can feel confident when calling because Total Financial Freedom is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. Battling for years and years, stuck in the endless cycle of minimum payments could take decades. You have the right to get your debt resolved and substantially reduce your monthly payments. Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-878-6020. That's 800-878-6020. 800-878-6020.
And good Wednesday morning to you. It is June 3rd. It is 30 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:30 a.m. And hey, good morning to you, Grass Valley. Currently 70 degrees right now, looking for a high today of 82 degrees. All right, there is the sports ball music. Let's get right into it. Well, on the hardwood in the NBA today, first game of the Big Dance NBA Finals. Game 1 is happening today, 5:30 p.m. on ABC. Knicks versus the Spurs to determine the whole shooting match there. That is going to be kicking off today. Knicks versus the Spurs, 5:30 p.m. on ABC. If you're into watching a little bit of basketball there. Headed over to the MLB. Well, game 2 of a 4-game series. Giants versus the Brewers. Brewers took game 2. They've got 2 games here. We'll see if the Giants can pull out a W here for game 3. That's going to be today at 4:40 p.m. You can hear all of the highlights, all of the things, all of the play-by-play, not just the highlights, on KAHI today, 4:40 p.m. Giants versus the Milwaukee Brewers. Check out all of the action here at 4:40 p.m. KAHI. Hopefully we can get a W for Game 3. Speaking of getting a W, the A's did get a W out at Wrigley Field yesterday. Here's what it sounded like from the ballpark.
One pitch, fly ball, left center field. That ball's traveling back, and it is gonna go! A tie game! Against the wind, Kurtz collects his 11th home run of the season.
Kurtz goes yard over the brick wall there. The A's win that one 2-1 over the Cubbies. So congrats, fellas, on the win there. Other scores around the MLB yesterday: Rockies over the Angels 8-2. Dodgers over the D-backs 6-5. Mets and the Mariners. Mariners take that one 8-3. Pirates over the Astros 10-6. And let's see, we had the Royals and the Reds. Reds win that one 4-3. And the Padres and the Phillies. Phillies win that one over the Padres 3-2. We'll be back with your K-High weather right after this.
Auburn's department store, McCullough's, has something for everyone. From the latest styles for men, women, and adorable kids' clothes and toys. They bring the best brands to the foothills. You can skip the big box store stress and the parking hassles. There's plenty of free parking at McCullough's with quality service and that classic neighborhood feel. Save time, gas, and money by shopping at McCullough's in the Auburn Town Center, right off of Elm.
Wednesday weather forecast is calling for mostly sunny skies today. Temperatures in the mid-to-upper 80s. A southwest wind about 10-12 miles per hour. Mostly clear overnight, around 60 with light winds. Hot weather, sunny weather for Thursday and Friday. It'll be up around 91, 92 degrees each afternoon. And more the same for Saturday. This is meteorologist Tim Root from FM 104.5 and AM 950 K-High.
At Naturewood's Memorial Day sale, you choose the offer. It's like 2 sales in one. Take 10% off regular price or get 24 months of free financing with deferred payments on approved credit. Choose from living rooms, sofas, sectionals, dining rooms, bedrooms, home offices, and so much more. Shop and save big on the best selection of quality furniture, including Sacramento's largest selection of furniture made in the USA. Naturewood. You know, the building with the water wheel. Tell them Brooklyn, Nova, and Orion sent you.
33 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:33 a.m. Gang, that is going to do it for me for today. We're going to finish out the hour with the O'Reilly Report and JT in the morning. Until we see each other again early tomorrow morning, as always, remember to be kind, be honest, to be yourself. And remember, you can't hate somebody if you're hugging them. And by the way, if today is your birthday, well, then again, happy stinking birthday to you. I hope you have a fantastic dreams. May all of your dreams, a fantastic day, and may all of your dreams come true. There we go. And by the way, maybe you're the day starting off a little rough. Remember to take a deep breath. Give yourself a little bit of grace today. Just take it one moment at a time. We got this, people. I will see you early tomorrow morning. Back now to JT in the morning here on FM 104.5. AM 950 K-High, voice of the foothills.
So, Tom, we were talking about this idea of firing.
Interesting.
Yeah, is your transmission affected by the sun?
I don't know a whole lot about that. I know that there is, talking to our engineers, to my understanding, the signal shifts depending on the time of day. There's a 950 station up in Washington, and somehow, so they don't overlap, the signal shifts at different points during the day. So that might be when they shift the signal.
You said there was something in Washington?
There's to my understanding, there's a station kind of 950. I think it's the same transmission signal or anyway, we can't overlap with that.
Oh, okay.
So somehow the signal shifts.